Hello and welcome everybody to the Wolverine Studios channel here on Twitch. Happy Wolverine Day, everybody. This is Gary coming to you live. It's been a little while since I've been here on the Twitch channel. We've had our new community manager, C. Jackson Cowart, doing the Draft Day Dynasties streams on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't been to those, I definitely suggest checking out tomorrow night. You can catch all of the replays from them on our YouTube channel. If you want to see, he's been going through a dynasty of Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2022. It's really exciting and informative. He takes his time to kind of help discuss how things work in the game, how strategies work, and it's really a great opportunity to watch somebody kind of go through everything, while playing the game, and you can pick up some tips and things like that on what to do. I want to say thank you to everyone for all of their participation today during our Wolverine Day items. If you don't know, we've had giveaways going all day long. We've got one on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, our Discord channel, our Reddit page, and of course on our forums as well. There's a global announcement post there. You can get in all 6 of those. We've also got promotions going for if you have made a purchase today, you are entered into a drawing automatically for a awesome Wolverine Studios swag box. And just announced to our email list, and we're going to make this public afterwards, we're adding one more contest today because 9 giveaways was kind of an odd number. I wanted to do 10 instead. So if you've made a purchase or are going to make a purchase today while the games are $15 only at wolverinestudios.com, if you've made a purchase or will make a purchase, then we're going to have one more drawing, and the winner of that drawing is going to get their purchase for free. So if you've purchased a game or are going to purchase a game, even if you strike out on all the other contests that are out there, including the one that we're going to do here in the Twitch channel tonight, you will automatically be entered to win a chance to win that free game. So hopefully lots of happy people today. We'll be giving away a lot of free games, that swag box, just a lot of exciting stuff. I love Wolverine Day. It's really a great opportunity for me to say thank you to everybody who has been part of our community these 16 years, and hopefully for a long time to come. This started as just a hobby for me, just trying to make a basketball game because I wasn't happy with what was out there at the time. And 16 years later, here we are. We've got fantastic games, that I think the best simulation games for basketball and football that you're going to find anywhere. And I think our games are as good as anything out there for the simulation and great interface, easy to use, great community that mods things, and it's just a fantastic thing that's it's been built here. And I thank the community for all those efforts. Without you guys, we wouldn't even exist. So I am going to throw in the chat box right now the rules for our Twitch giveaway. It's simple. All you have to do is follow us here on Twitch. That's free. And you just have to comment on something, anything you want during the chat. Afterwards, we'll go through, see how many comments we had, how many commenters we had. We'll do a random drawing when we close up all of our drawings. Tomorrow, giving everybody a chance on the West Coast, especially to get those entries in tonight, and we will make that drawing tomorrow, and we'll notify the winners of all of our giveaways. So really excited to get some new games out there for people. So, anyways, this stream we've kind of teased a lot, a big new reveal about something coming to the games this year. So I'm excited to get into that and show you guys just exactly what that's going to be. So as appropriate as it is for how this whole thing started, I've started to work on Pro Basketball 2023, and we're going to take a look at some things here that I've been working really, really hard on, and I'm really excited to show off. So I hope what you're going to see here is going to bring new enthusiasm to the game, and eventually this will hopefully make its way into other games. Definitely college basketball, and we'll see about the football games. We'll see what directions we go there, but really excited to be showing this off. So let's get going here on this Wolverine Day, the 4th Wolverine Day. A couple guys in chat, thanks for the comments there. Obviously, everybody who comments is going to be entered to win a free game after the chat. So if you didn't see that and you're just joining in late, I'll remind everybody again later. All you have to do is follow on our Twitch channel here and make some kind of comment in the comment box during the course of this stream. And of course, don't forget, we've got all of our other contests out there: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, our forums, all over the place. Lots of chances to win games today. And of course, the game's $15 at wolverinestudios.com. You can't beat that for these games. So if there's anything you haven't picked up, you want to do that right away. So I am going to show off two things here tonight. A lot of this is the 2022 stuff. This is in no way complete. I just, what you're going to see is the portions that I've started to work on in this new feature for 2023. So keep in mind, it's all at the beginning of the development in some of this stuff. Don't get too hung up on things, but we're going to go over to the team info page, and this is going to look a little bit different. One of the things here is I'm going to pull up View Jerseys button. This is a new button here, and we're going to see jerseys as part of the game. I'm going to add a fourth one in there because the teams like to have tons of different jerseys. The jerseys, you'll be able to customize the number color and an outline color for the numbers. And the reason that we've added jerseys here is because I've been doing a ton of work on the gameplay side of this. And if you notice, kind of in the screen in the background, there's a new court down there. This is going to give modders a lot of work over the summer, and I will try to help them get started as fast as possible as soon as I get everything locked down the way I want it to be. But you're going to see these jerseys have a role to play in a minute. So rather than a little square box that used to represent a jersey, now you're actually going to have the opportunity to design a jersey for the game. And obviously all of the old mods for the jerseys and the courts, anything like that, will not work because things are different now. So you can see that I'm going to go over to the play game, and if you are a fan of the fictional thing, you'll notice that the Gears have a new logo there amongst some other teams in the game. I've kind of refreshed some of the things there. And we are going to go and look at the gameplay. Now again, some of the stuff is the same as before, and a lot of it's not finished. This is all just in the beginning stages of the build. But rather than seeing a top-down view of the court with squares moving around on the court, you're going to see basketball. And we've got these little icons. Again, a lot of things here are work in process. There's no people in the crowd right now. There's the players are just a default icon. We're going to do different shades, different shades and different skin tones to match up to the created players in the game, so that it will look much more like seeing players in the game. You also notice that in the past that there was items on both sides of the screen for control of things. That's all going to be done on the one side going forward here. There'll be all of your options for changing offenses, defenses, making subs and stuff like that will be over here on the one side, so that we could devote more of the screen to the gameplay. Obviously, the gameplay is the biggest thing here. I've been working a lot on this, as I said. I'm going to play a little bit of it so you can kind of see how it works. I like Thornyism says he's throwing his credit card at the monitor, but nothing is happening. And again, remember, this is very early stage on this. There's going to be tweaks. There's going to be further development. Nowhere near the final project here, but I've been so excited about this. I've showed it to a couple of people, and they absolutely loved it. So I'm really excited to. I couldn't wait to kind of show it to the community and let you know that, as always, we're continuing to push forward and elevate the games, and that's the goal, to continue to elevate them, to make them a better experience to play every single time. So I'm going to start here and let you guys watch a little bit of the action. I'm going to make the speed just a little bit faster. And one thing I've noticed while playing through this is that I find myself much more interested in this version of the screen than I did in the past. And Paratrooper says that this view is 1,000,000 times more immersive than the top-down view, and I agree. I mean, I've actually been really more watching, as I test here, and again, a lot of things will change from this. It's just a starting point, but I think that it's a really good and interesting and fun starting point. And one of the big issues is, I mean, no matter what, we're never gonna do what 2K can do, what EA can do, and stuff like that. But the goal is to make it more immersive, make it more fun. I've seen what other games in our genre have done, like whether you're talking Football Manager, Out of the Park. Those are always the games that we're striving to meet those standards that they set every year. They push the bar higher and higher, and we want to be those games for football and basketball. And I think this is the necessary next step for that. And obviously, it's not something that we're going to have a 3D environment with all kinds of crazy graphics and things like that. But I think that this view of the game really makes it a ton more interesting to not only watch, but also to see. I find myself watching and seeing players make switches, seeing players double team, seeing players who help on a drive and somebody's wide open and I'm yelling at the screen to pass it to the wide open guy and for him to shoot. And there's a double team right there and some help. Those things happened in the previous game with the top-down icon view, but they just weren't as impactful. And again, for everybody who's just tuning in and just starting to watch, this is very early stage of an idea, of a concept, but it's gonna, it will be in the next version of the basketball games, and I think it's going to make a huge difference. I think it's really going to make it much more enjoyable for you to coach the games or just to watch them. And I think you'll really see how well the logic works in the games as you see players making different basketball, plays that you would expect, somebody helping on a drive, things like that. So it's, again, while we're looking at this kind of in a, just in a very, very early stage here, I'm sure some weird things will happen. And, the the animations and things like that will improve as I see different things happen, and I say, oh, that doesn't look right, and then I will make adjustments, and something else will happen. But I've been really excited to show this off as kind of the next big thing, I think, for our games, starting with the basketball games, because I think that it really brings it to a new level of immersion. And if you look at what we do on the simulation side of things and the actual franchise mode part of the game, I mean, I think we're as good as anybody with that, if not the best. And oftentimes I say that we're better than the big the big games in the space at the franchise stuff, and I think that's fair, and I think that is an accurate assessment, because what we work on with trading and with player logic and things like that, that's always been the core of the game, and that's not going to change. But the opportunity to do something more with the visuals, yeah, I mean, I really wanted a chance to do that. And I've had people suggest things over time. Obviously, they always suggest 3D and make it look as great as 2K and stuff like that, and that's not possible for a small company like us. But this is possible, and I think this is a really fun upgrade, especially as I continue to develop this concept. And and you'll get interaction, from having crowd in there and having players, different looking players and things like that, while being able to recognize them, from their jersey numbers, having their names under them, things like that. I think it's going to be something that is really a lot of fun. So as you guys, watch this, and I'm not going to play through the whole game. I just, this is what I really wanted to show off. I want your feedback. There's been a lot of nice comments here saying this is sweet, great work, this is worth the upgrade right off the bat, looks great. As you see this, and now you see what I think is possible here with the game, and now you have the opportunity to look at it. Now you can get your mind working in ideas for, okay, if this is the starting point, what do you want to see added on top of this to make it even better? I think that having a realistic starting point of something, rather than saying, okay, let's make it look like 2K, that's something that won't happen. Taking this and starting to imagine what can happen with this. And I'm excited to see people talk about it, to think about it, to see what they would want to see either in this game or in college basketball, or even in the football games. Having something similar added to those games down the line. And obviously I've had a big head start on developing this for the basketball games. So I don't think it will be on the radar for football this year, but if it's something that, I think enough people get interested on the basketball side, it'll be like other things. It's, if somebody really likes one of the features in our games, then it's kind of the call is out to put it in the other ones. So, having the opportunity to see this and kind of see where we can go in the future, I hope that starts the wheels turning for a number of people watching this. And I definitely have had some conversations privately with some people about this, and really the genesis of this idea. It has been from those conversations, because there's always been well, let's do something better, but really there wasn't a great idea. Well, how do you do it better? How do we do it better without having to say, yeah, we need to have 3D, or we need to rip everything out and run it on Unity or something crazy like that. This works well within the framework of what we've built and how we've used the Chemium Unlimited platform that Sean Sullivan designed for us a couple of years back. And again, when we went from kind of the old platform to that, there was a huge leap in the playability of the game. I think that the UI became so much more cleaner and more intuitive, and we could do more things on the screens. And it really felt like a large jump in the game from the prior year. And, of course, you can't have a massive jump every single year. You try to make, decent-sized jumps from version to version until you get to the point where you can make another large jump. And I think that's what is going to happen with the games going forward. Here, I think this is the next big jump for the games. I think this is kind of the one thing that's been missing from the games. And hopefully people, when these games do come out later in the year, and pro basketball is obviously an October-ish time frame release, and college basketball is always typically February-ish before the big tournament. I hope that this gives people the incentive to want to go out and stream more often and do more dynasties, whether through Twitch or YouTube or whatever they want to use. Because I think this is worth showing. I think this is worth playing. I think that people will want to watch, a stream who, has something like this to offer. And that's really my biggest goal in doing this is not only for, streamers and things like that to have something to offer, to keep people interested, but for the people who play themselves, to keep you interested, over the course of, the seasons and stuff like that. Because I think what we did before was okay. I think it showed what it needed to show, but it's not as good as this. I think this offers the opportunity to have a ton more immersion, and I think it really gives you the opportunity to kind of see the game and feel the game better than in the past. And so that's why I'm really, really excited about it. As I let it go for a few more minutes, so you can take a look at things and get some ideas and kind of imagine what else can be done here with this in the future. I want to remind you that we are going to do a giveaway for everybody who is in the stream here. All you have to do is make sure you're following us here on Twitch, and you have to comment something, anything in the chat box. After the stream, we will take everybody who made a comment, we'll throw them into a random draw, just like we're doing on all of our other outlets, and we will pick winners for free games. So, you have an opportunity for a pretty good chance here to win a copy of any of our current games that are all on sale today, only $15 at the WolverineStudios.com web store. CB Point Guard says his cat loves it. He's not sure if he's trying to get the ball or scratch one of the players. Hopefully he doesn't try to block one of the shots and knock your monitor over or something like that. And Thornyism says, will you see players play their strengths on the court? Example, 3-point shooters shooting from deep and bigs in the paint. Yep, I mean the game has always had that built into the simulation, and that's one of the things I like best about the basketball game is that the players play like real players. They all have their unique abilities, they all have their strengths. They play to their strengths, they play to the areas on the floor that their strengths would be in. If they're a post player, you're not going to see them standing outside unless it's really for a pick and roll or something like that. But I think this highlights it better because you're going to notice a player, I think, better than a box or an icon or something like that. So I think you'll get used to seeing certain players do certain things, and you'll be able to recognize the players better, and you'll be able to kind of get more intrigued in what's going on the court as you coach or watch or whatever you're doing. And a couple more comments. Tabitha Soul says, honestly, this is really cool to see. Thornism says that's going to be awesome to watch with this new interface, and I agree. That's the response I'm hoping for, and I'm really excited to be working on it. It's going to be a lot of work, obviously, rebuilding this whole thing. You can see I've come pretty far already in doing it, but there's definitely still more touches to be made, and of course there will be a lot of work for myself and our mod community, as we'll have to have new courts. And again, since this will be coming to college basketball as well, I know the mod community is really big there, with the courts and stuff like that. So I do want to get people, working on mods and stuff like that as early as possible. So if you are a modder or want to be a modder, get in touch with me through, private message on the forums or our support email or something. And we can talk about kind of what the parameters will be and how you can start working on this so that it's ready for the season. And there's a nice drive right there, showing the kind of the ability where he beats his man to the basket and then finishes the basket. And then Jackson, of course, our community manager, asks the toughest part of building out the new view. I think it looks more real, so the game has to play more real. And I think that's been the biggest thing that I've noticed, just in watching it, obviously through some testing and stuff like that. I've noticed more like where shots miss, and where the rebound goes. And it didn't, if it comes off in an odd place now, it looks odd. It looks like it shouldn't have happened that way, and it needs to be, changed and corrected in the engine or in the display here. Whereas before, it wasn't quite, so noticeable if something, maybe unusual happened that you really wouldn't see that often. So I think that speaks to this being more real and having a feeling of, being more like watching a game of basketball. So I think that while that's been a tough part in kind of redeveloping this, I think it's going to be a blessing because it's going to make it even more realistic to to watch and to play out. And then Blue and Gold 34, will visual attendance be based on the current team record as season progresses? That's the plan. I plan on populating the crowd kind of based on the attendance for the game, which I think will be a much bigger change in college basketball than the pro basketball game, because it doesn't show, obviously there's not a ton of room for seating and stuff like that on the screen. So I think for the pro game it will be mostly filled most of the time, but I think for college, especially when we have small colleges, we could do something different there where it would be more sparse or fewer seats or something like that. Because really, outside of the court area, we could come up with different ways to do that, to have there'd have to be some standardization for things like the scorer's table, or we couldn't make like any configuration, I don't think, because we'd have to know where people could go, and we wouldn't want them just like sitting in empty space or things like that. So but I do think that we could have a couple of different setups, a couple of different concepts, so that there would be a little bit of a different look between between the arenas you play in, other than how the court's designed. And again, I think things like that are kind of next level ideas for this, and it really gives me a lot to think about and a lot to work with, because the possibilities could there could be so many different possibilities on setting things up, as long as the court, obviously the court dimensions will have to remain the same, but the courts itself can be customized, and then having some kind of system where we have a couple of different, maybe stadium options or something like that for the modders to use, so that they could design different looking courts, things like that. But that's a great question. It's really, really something that I like to see people thinking that way, because there's so much that I think can come from this. Let's see, what else do we have in the chat. Thornyism asks, just thinking about the possibilities of football given it isn't constant action. I haven't discussed it. I've shown the concept to Brooks just to get his feedback, because obviously I value what Brooks thinks. He does a really nice job with his games. I think a concept like this could work for football. I'm sure Brooks will love that answer, but I think anything we can do that is within our abilities and constraints and can make things better and make them more interactive and more more exciting and more interesting to watch, I think that it's worth looking at. Oh, and there's Brooks in the chat right there. Brooks, I have not promised anything on the football games for anybody, okay? Haven't made any promises. All I said was that I think that we'll keep looking at ways to make everything better. Okay, I haven't locked you into anything. Beyond the Mic says he wants teams that are bad. Can fans have bags on their heads? Maybe. Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe get signs, fire the coach, stuff like that. That's the great thing about this concept, is that once we start working towards it, we can, imagine a lot of different places it can go. And even if it's fun little stuff like somebody having a sign that says fire the coach, or somebody with a paper bag over their head, that would be great, because it would just be kind of a fun, one-off thing that could happen, if you had a really historically bad team or something like that. There's just a lot we can do, and that's part of the reason why I've been so excited to show it to everybody at large, is because there's a lot of people who are smarter than me and more creative than me, and they're gonna watch this and come back and say, what if it did this? What if it did that? What if you made him look like this? There's gonna be really great ideas that come from the community, that will turn this up, even another notch or two or three. And that's really been the secret to our success for 16 years, is listening to the ideas of the community and finding the ones that are really good and saying, yeah, we're going to put that in and we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work that way, or we're going to make it look like that. And again, like I said, this whole genesis of this improvement and change came from a couple of people reaching out privately to me and sharing some ideas, and me taking one one idea that one person talked about and another idea that another person mentioned, and saying, okay, what can I do? What can I actually make it do? And how good can we make it look? And and then going from there. And like I said, this is very early days on this, but I think just what it does right now is a huge step up from what it has done in the past. And I think it's instantly going to add a ton of new playability to the games, plus anything else that comes along. Whether it's ideas that I still have and want to implement, or other ideas from other people. And Hex Encounter says this does really look good and helps immersion, and that's the goal. I want you to want to sit here and watch your games, or coach your games, or be able to hop on a stream on Twitch and your YouTube channels, or anything else that you're doing, and help you grow your communities. For the people who are into streaming and things like that, I want to give you something to help help you, help make it better for you, help make it better for viewers to come watch. And I think people will watch, a game taking place rather than watching, boxes or circles or whatever. We had jerseys for the games, the basketball games here. I think this is 1,000 times more watchable, and especially with improvements that will happen from now until release and into future versions. So again, I want to thank everybody who has come out to the chat. Again, one last call for the chat here. If you want to be entered into a drawing to win a free game from our 2022 lineup, all you have to do is make sure you're following us and comment quickly here in the chat so that we've got you on record. And after the after the stream's over and we start kind of finding our winners tomorrow from all of our contests, we will pick one at random here who is following us and commented in the chat, and you will win a game, a free game as well from our current lineup. Don't forget also that the contests on Reddit, Discord, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and in our Wolverine Studios forums are still going. You can go enter all of those to try to win a free game. And if you've made a purchase today or are going to make a purchase before the end of the day, you'll be entered into 2 different drawings as well. One for the Wolverine Studios swag box, and one we're going to pick one winner just announced here on the stream that we're going to refund your purchase, so you'll get your purchase for free. So definitely an opportunity to either come away with a free game today, or at the very least an amazing deal. I mean, $15 for any of our games is a steal as far as I'm concerned. So definitely, if you haven't gotten to the web store, do it. If you have all the games already, I mean, if you got a buddy, $15, I mean, he can buy you a couple of pizzas or pizza and beer to the next time to make up for it. Get him into these games, or get her into these games. Today is the perfect entry point for that. Only $15 on our website at wolverinestudios.com. And for everybody who is new to the company and the community, we have Wolverine Day every year in May, one day at the beginning of May. So we'll look forward to doing it for the 5th time next year. But today you still have a chance to get incredible deals for you, your friends, anybody you want. If you're running a league and you need some extra licenses, I mean, you pick them up cheap today. $15 is unbeatable. So get over there to the web store, get those purchases before the day ends. The web store will automatically shut off and revert the pricing once we hit midnight on the West Coast. So make sure you get it done soon. And thanks to everybody for coming to the stream. I haven't been on stream for a while. Mostly just going to focus on the development of the games. That's why we brought Jackson aboard, and he does a fantastic job on Thursday nights with his Draft Day Dynasties streams. So he'll be on the channel tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So make sure you come and give him some support. Thanks to all the new followers today, and of course our subscribers. If you have, I always say, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account, and that will give you 1 free subscription every month. And if you have that and you can use it on us, that helps us, and it doesn't cost you anything to do that free subscription. So if you have that available, if you have Prime, if you're Amazon Prime member, link it to your Twitch account, and then go to our Twitch page at twitch.com/Wolverine Studios, and then you can follow. And when you click to subscribe, there's a little box that says use your free sub or something like that. So just make sure you check that box so it's free, and then use that sub on us. And if you renew it every month, that just helps us every month grow, get some subscribers to the channel and things like that. So if you have that option available to you, I certainly appreciate if you would do that. and definitely appreciate all of the retweets and the posts and the purchases and everything else, for the support over the last 16 years. It's been, absolutely phenomenal from being able to turn this from just a hobby into, a company that is grown and is sold, some great sports games, and hopefully given you a lot of hours of fun in playing. It's been an amazing dream come true for me. Definitely appreciate the work that Brooks does on his games, and Asger helping him, and what Jackson is doing now in our community, and everybody else who is either part of a small group in our testing groups, or modders, or helping out on the forums, stuff like that. There's so many people that make this possible, and so many people that I really appreciate for everything that they've done over the years for the company. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little stream here tonight. I hope that you're excited about the new development here coming to pro and college basketball in the 2023 versions. I hope that it will kind of stem some ideas that you want to share with me for how this could be even better. And of course, as I said numerous times, very early on in the development of this here, so this will improve by the time we get to release, obviously. But if you have ideas, if you have feedback, anything else, along the way, I'm always happy to take ideas and suggestions. And Thornism says he can't wait for a Steam sale. We always participate in the Steam sales whenever they run them. They just tell you when the dates are going to be, and you set the sale prices then. So whenever their next one's coming up, we'll have, we'll participate, obviously, for the people who prefer the games on Steam. But if you don't mind, or it doesn't matter to you which version you're on, since they're the same games, just your choice of licensing platform. $15 today only at wolverinestudios.com. And you're not going to get a better deal than that. So that's going to do it for this special Wolverine Day stream. Thanks for coming out for it. I was really excited. I've been waiting for weeks to kind of show this off to everybody. So I'm enthused about the feedback initially from it. I hope that after some other people get a chance to look at it from the replay or putting it up on YouTube, that it will even generate more buzz, and we'll get a lot of buzz and hype going into the next season of games, where this will be the star and the centerpiece of the 2023 basketball editions. So thanks everybody so much for your support. I really appreciate you coming out tonight. Don't forget, you can still get in all the other contests that are running on all of our sites, and do that tonight. And good luck to everybody. I hope we get some winners from the stream. We'll definitely at least get one for the Twitch giveaway here. But again, just huge thanks to everybody for making this possible over the past 16 years, and here's to many, many, many more years of the best in franchise mode gaming coming to you from Wolverine Studios. So thanks to everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week, a wonderful rest of Wolverine Day. And if you do anything else the rest of the day, if you could retweet something or share something, or make a post on wherever you're at, or anything you can do to tell one person about Wolverine Studios and the games and the things that we're working on, please do that. That would mean the world to me, to try to to continue to grow our company and our community, because the bigger we grow, the more people in our community, the better the games keep getting every year. It's that simple. So thank you so much, everybody, and we'll be back on this channel tomorrow night. Jackson will be back with his Hawaii Dynasty and College Basketball 22, and I will see everybody around all of our numerous outlets, and looking forward to the next version of all of our games. So thanks, everybody, and we will see you real soon.